Hello there, this has been Fournier, a benevolent Cytoquorum. Well, I'm posting this on my birthday of October 23rd, but this is October 8th. I just try to do everything in advance so I get more done each time. Anyway, yeah, here's more crap here. My lame, whatever, everything I do is lame, I know. I just love that. Oh well, here's this. Okay, but I don't know if I want to bother trying to do as much as I did for the previous day's stuff. That took way too long to do everything. But I just try the best I can until I feel like giving up, which happens occasionally. Like whenever I work at places I hate, which is pretty much every place I've worked at, it's just like, can I be done with this already? I actually like this game, and I try to like most of the games I try, but you know, it's whenever they get too tough I just hate them. And that's why I sometimes play on lame modes. It'd be nice if most games didn't have the option of doing things on easy mode, because then I wouldn't feel like as tempted to do that. Although some, like StarCraft 2, it's also a matter of my computer barely being able to handle it as it is, so having it on casual for that means fewer things to render and therefore less chance of my computer crashing. But excuses. Just gotta put everything on brutal and make it as joyful as the rest of life, right? Otherwise you're not a real human if you're not playing it on impossible mode. Gotta just make everything as tough as finding work in the era of customer-minded employers. Yay. Oh well. Let's keep going. Yay. Okay, well. Yeah, probably can go through... No. No, we can't. Oh well, let's clear this out. Yeah, that ought to do. For clearing it, not for the 40, of course. Sometime later we'll get the 40 of Doom. Here's a path node, more damage. So much damage you'd think they were jalopies. Yay. And we should have those fences down by then, or else the game ends now. Yay. Cool. It doesn't end on 6 waves. Hey, for a birthday gift, could everyone upvote my videos rather than downvote them? That would be so nice. It's just plain depressing to see all my efforts go in vain, and especially when I'm not even monetized. Just being downvoted into oblivion kind of sucks. You know? Do you know? It's like you put effort into something only for no reward, and the opposite of a reward even. And of course it's just, you know, how it goes, because it's the status quo, getting rudeness in response for effort. Although it's not quite as bad as like when working at sweatshops and you put as much effort into something as possible and they just up the quota. That's always fun. It's like, you did so well, congratulations, now you're doing everyone's job. Yay! Such fun, much hamsters. Ah, the joy. Oh well. More for later, right? And I didn't even need to do that per se. Ah well. Yeah, like one place I worked at before, it was... Well, I made, with a team of 3, we were making these hospital filters. Filters for, like... Well, they could go to either barns or hospitals, but they were like HEPA filters with this crap from 3M that was supposed to be really good. So we're doing the hot gluing of these things that cost like $900 back in 2009. And getting $9 an hour, the three of us each $9 an hour. These $900 filters, we were making about 50 of them per day for our group of 3. And the other 2 teams, even the third shift one, which was outright saying they were on like meth and other stuff. Well, one was like just drinking a whole lot of coffee, the other one was on the actual stuff. But yeah, they were only getting around 40, and my team, I just, stayed focused on the work. This was before there were like, as much of a as, the smartphones weren't as common then in 2009 as they are now, so not everyone was just wasting all their time on their phones like at more places now. But, yeah, it was a joy though, getting to be I don't know, just they upped the quota to 70. Didn't even give a bonus for the effort. Just was like, oh, looks like you can do more. Let's put it beyond your limit. It's like, seriously? Yeah, that's a lovely thing. No reward, just more expectations. And that's stupid. Or the last one I worked at, I tend to make recommendations on how to fix things, and lazy employers are always just like, who do you think you are? It's like, you can see this is broken, right? It needs to be fixed. Good grief. And they don't even listen to what you say. Like, I brought up how like soiled side was moving hospital laundry carts to clean side without washing them, and so everyone was getting like on the packing line, and anyone else having to bring carts to their areas were getting cross-contamination hazards from the unwashed laundry carts. And I mentioned how, since the what was it called, the cart washing machine wasn't drying them because they had like a broken thing there for drying, you could tell which ones hadn't been washed because they were dry. And the idiotic general manager just was like, this thing washes perfectly fine. It's like, I wasn't saying it wasn't washing fine. I was saying you could tell which ones weren't washed by how they were dry. Not that they're supposed to be dried, but that they're supposed to be washed, and you can tell which ones aren't washed by how they're not wet. And of course, for the last week I was there, he put me on a vindictive make work task. I reported them to OSHA, and they made my last week there infernal. So it's like, may God literally damn them. And I'm not using God's name in vain. I mean, may God literally damn them. May they lose everything. May that business crumble and fall to pieces, because they should not be in business. They think it's okay to have workers in sweatshop conditions, working in 110, 120 degree weather, without air conditioning, and in conditions exposed to biohazards. That should be illegal. It should be an atrocity, and yet they consider it perfectly fine just because they can get away with it for now. And of course it's like, no, it's obviously not fine. And yet they're allowed to get away with it. It's like, how many OSHA inspectors are just completely worthless as the businesses that they inspect? It's like, how can they get away with this stuff? And yet there's always a way. It just seems like so much pointlessness of bothering to try. You care more about anything, and it's just ever more futility. So yeah, the joy. Always more joy. But yeah, although one workplace was pretty good, It was a plastics factory that I didn't like that they had conveniently broken air conditioning during summer, but it was Minnesota, so about the most it got for temperature was about 90 inside, which, you know, compared to 120 inside, that's not as bad at least. It's not good, but it's not as bad, so comparatively it was better at least, even though absolutely it could have been better still. But they did have a nice thing where it's like, if you make suggestions, they at least give you a $5 gift card if they think your suggestion's good. And I got one at least. That was nice. It wasn't like anything major, it was just, you know, next to nothing, but better than getting on report for insubordination for talking up to a manager. It's like, give me a break. So many of these managers are so customer minded, they should be fired outright. It's like, if they can't respect their workers and their ability to have free speech and actually recognize when problems exist, they shouldn't be in leadership. They should just, you know, and they're mostly just getting paid to sit around and watch videos on their phones anyway. Like the last place, it was pretty much just the idiots. They're sitting in their air-conditioned offices whenever, well, occasionally they'll get out back on the floor and decide to do a little bit, looking around, seeing if anything needs to be done, but they're just mostly doing absolutely nothing. So it's like, there's some brilliancy there, and you wonder why nothing gets done. Yeah, it's just, and of course employers hate any employees like me that point anything out, because, oh, they know best, of course, because they've been in power for all this time, and that's supposed to mean anything? Really? It's like, okay, everything is broken, and you've been in power all this time. What is that actually supposed to tell me? You've been there. Things have not improved. You're still there. Things are still garbage. What is this actually telling me? But oh, you've sat on your butts for so many years. Congratulations for having a cushy job doing nothing. Or next to nothing. Of course, you know, occasionally they'll get out and just run a machine for like 10 minutes and then return back to watching The Office in the office. Here's time to lose. Yay. Oh, joy. Okay, maybe something like this. The joy. Sorry, just trying to focus on this. I know I can get back to whining at any time I want. It's what I do best. Here, maybe we'll lose now and I can actually end this. Or I'll lose most of my stuff and then I will end anyway. Yeah, there's one gone at least. Oh, and we cleared that out. Yay. The joy. Okay. Oh my word. I don't know if I want to go back through there. Let's do like this and clear out most of it anyway. It should be done mostly anyway. Yeah, sometimes I think I might just try to lose so it ends faster. Yeah, some workplaces really discourage workers from working. And a lot of them just do exactly that. They do next to nothing, so they can get rewarded for just time on the clock, and that just makes it worse for everyone who cares to do a good job. You know, for as much as AI kind of sucks, there really should be something like, if they're going to track everyone anyway, then make a useful thing out of it and actually like do something along the lines of actually keeping track and counting every piece done, so workers can be paid for their actual work rather than just time on the clock kind of thing. That could be interesting anyway. And of course everyone that just sits on their butt all day won't like that, but I mean seriously, it would be nice if everything were actually getting done rather than just everyone being on a clock. Then, you know, actual work is incentivized rather than just so much wasted effort, wasted time. The joy. And let's hope those are gone by then, otherwise my ships will be in the skin in sooner. Okay, well, down to 5 ships. I guess let's get another. Not dead yet, but I'm getting there, I'm sure. Look at this. It was cleared just a moment ago, and then someone took a dump. My word. You know, that's fun. When I worked as a janitor at a campground, having to clean poop off the walls was always a real joy, I'll tell you what. And, you know, I joke about, you know, asking to use flamethrowers. But it's funny though when the managers are like, yeah, sure you can, please do. It's like, yeah, I am only joking when I make those kind of jokes, but it's like, oh my word, sometimes what is going on when everyone's just making as much difficulty for me as possible? It's highly frustrating and depressing. It's like nothing I do is ever good enough, and then someone takes a dump on the wall. Why? It's like all the downvoting here on Farspark, or not Farspark, but this branch of Lifelog. Ah, the joy. Down to 4 ships. Down to 3. Down to 2. Ah, the joy. Well, that's sped up that. We're almost done. Here's this. Forget it. I'm done. There we go. This is ending. Alrighty. So, take care everyone and try not to go crazy.